It's so stupid, it's positively brilliant.
Yep, Charlamagne The God. My guy Andrew Schulz, he is not available this week. The reason Andrew Schulz is not available, because Andrew Schulz is busy, as he should be. And Andrew Schulz is cooking up something, man, that I really can't wait for the world to see. The main reason I can't wait for the world to see it, because I love to see, I just love to see my guys prospering. I love to see my guys shining, man. I love to see people in my team winning. And Andrew Schulz definitely has a power move that he's about to let the world know about. And I cannot fucking wait. I started to say to rub it in y'all face, but that's not what I meant. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'd be like? I salute to my guy Mouse. Mouse is here.
Your peace.
Mouse is here. He got the full setup in his house. He got the full set. That's good though. You're a professional. This is your job. This is how you eat.
This is my job, so I gotta have it. You know, it was no way I was gonna be recording off the goddamn Zoom audio all the damn time.
That's right. But you know, I'm saying, like, you know, I'm competitive without being competitive, but really, I'm always thinking about Michael Jordan in the locker room with the baseball bat. I can't lie. Like I'm always there with it. I'm always in the locker room smoking a cigar with the baseball bat. And it gets to a point, it's just like, I'm not competing with anybody but myself, but it's just like, you know, I just like to see my people.
I remember when you remember in the beginning of the quarantine, I did a little project, and I remember you had said that you were the first interview, and you said, I asked you that, and you were like, I'm not in no rat race. I'm not in a competition with nobody.
Mm-hmm.
But there has to be people that you've lapped by now that you're happy to see lap, or like there has to be some type of healthy, I don't even know if it's healthy or not, but there has to be something like the competition don't keep you going.
I'm not, it's not about lapping people, right? Like that's never my mindset. My mindset is never, I'm going to pass this person, I'm going to blow past this person. My mindset is more, if you have ever talked shit, you know what I mean? Or meaning that, and this goes back to not even, you know, now I'm just talking about even back in the day, like, oh, he'll never be nothing, or this will never happen for him, or yada, yada. If that's always where my mind is. You know what I'm saying? Like my mind is on the program director in Philly. Salute to my guy, Boogie D. He's not really my guy. I don't have anything personal against him, but I'm just saying, like, salute to him. He's a brother, black man, salute to him. But he's somebody who fired me, you know what I mean? Right. And told me this is why I would never make it in radio. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like my man, you know, DJ Cass. He's not really my man. I'm just saying my man because I don't have no problems with the brother. God bless that black man. Him in Charleston, South Carolina. I remember when I got fired from Hot 98.9 in Charleston, he was on the radio saying, like, he'll probably never work in radio again. Shit like that is what constantly fuels me. A family member of mine who I honestly just started showing love to, because back in the day, you know, they read a paper that my now wife wrote about me, because my wife had did a paper on me when she was in college, and it was an interview, and I was saying basically everything I'm doing now I was going to do. And at the time I was just doing local radio in South Carolina, so that seemed like a pipe dream for mad motherfuckers. And this person was like, he couldn't even make it in Atlanta. How could he ever think he would be in New York? Right. So it's shit like that constantly motivates me. And, you know, Andrew is somebody that people have fronted on too. You know what I mean? And people have fronted on Andrew. They fronted on Andrew, and Andrew, you know, was out here auditioning for different things, and he wasn't getting the roles. And like, it was one point people didn't even know Andrew was a comedian. They thought he was some type of political pundit like Ben Shapiro. You know what I mean? Alt-right Andy. You know what I mean? So people have fronted on my guy. So to see him buckle down and take his career in his own hands and like really start utilizing the internet and social media, and for all of that, for everything that's manifested for him now, I love to see it. I just love to see it.
That's a fact. And like, it's so weird because people look at me and be like, yo, why you support Schulz? Why you fuck with Schulz? And I'm like, yo, if you never had a conversation with him, you won't get it.
That's right.
Right. And I get it. Being in this position, I get it that, you know, sometimes you're only access to a person is wherever you heard them. And that thing, but like the objectivity just not there no more.
Yes.
The objectivity not there. And I had Louder Than a Riot. They were on, Rodney and Sid, they was on Guys Next Door this week. And they was and I asked them about that. I was like, how do you stay objective, or how do you stay impartial when discussing these specific rap stories that you're a fan of? And Rodney was like, objectivity is not a real thing.
Wow.
It's not a real thing. Objectivity is not a real thing. Like you sit on one side, whether you like to acknowledge it or not. And I think for most people, well, I won't say for most people, for some people, that's where they sit with Andrew. Like they sit with Andrew, like, oh, I heard him say this. I heard him, like, everybody tends to forget that this is all a learning process. And over the past 5 years, I don't know if there's ever been a shift in like social consciousness like there's been in the past 5 years. So like you're expecting Andrew, who grew up one way, to see things the way you're seeing them right now. And you're not giving him that growth. And obviously you're not going to give him the growth, or you're going to be a little hard on him for two reasons. One, he's a white man. And two, he stands next to you. So y'all two together kind of make everything nuclear. So you have to pick a side. But I say it all the time. I think Andrew and I think Carlos Miller are two of the greatest comedians on the road right now. So
that's not even close. I agree with you.
I love seeing Schulz win, white or not. I love seeing Schulz win.
You know, it's so funny, man, what you said about being objective. That's such an interesting take, because I think you have to be intentionally objective. You know what I mean? I think it's natural that, you know, because we're tribal people, so we have beliefs, we have thoughts, we have things that we agree with just when we hear them or see them. But sometimes you got to take a step back and just look at something for what it is. You know what I mean? That's how you be objective. Your initial reaction might be to pick a side, but you got to take a step back and just observe something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's be objective.
Right. But people get caught up in that, right? People get caught up in that initial thought you're going to pick a side. Like nobody, even me, I like to think I'm the most objective person. But in that initial moment, perfect example, we'll take you, right? You know how I'm a ride for you. In that moment, when somebody say something, initially I'm like, nah, I gotta support Unc. But then I gotta step back and I have that second thought, like, all right, well, let me be objective. Let me see, well, what happened?
Let me make sure he's not wrong.
Let me make sure he's not wrong. Because I'll text you, I'll be like, Unc, I don't know about that one. You know what I mean? And so but I think people get caught up in that first thought too much. That first thought is that tribalism thought, like, what? Nah. And then nobody wants to apologize. Nobody wants to moonwalk. Nobody wants to say, maybe I did too much. Maybe I did too much. And a lot of people do too much in that first instant, right? Some people, and I've been there, like, from the first time y'all met me, or from the first time y'all heard me here to now, like, people be like, oh, Malshane, nah, I just had a moment to think for a minute. Because in a lot of instances, when people were not being objective in regards to me, I'm responding to your first initial thought. I'm like, oh, bet, so you on that side? So now I'm going to blow the whole side up. You too. To now where it's like, man, shit, all right, stay over there. Watch me work.
You know, it's intention is important too, right? Because, like, you know, my man hit me yesterday. Salute to my man, Partisan Fontaine. He hit me yesterday.
Yeah, fire.
Yeah, that's my guy. I've been knowing Party for a minute, you know, and we was discussing something. He was telling me that I was being insensitive about. And I was like, And that's my man. So if my man telling me that, I don't got no reason to be defensive or it's like, yo, let me step back for a second and see where he might have been right. You know what I mean? I still don't think he was right. You know what I mean? But because I took a step back, because what he saw was only 40, 50 seconds or something, right? But when he saw the whole thing, he was like, oh, I understand a little bit better now. But I still took into consideration what he said, because even if that 40 seconds of it came off is insensitive, that's not what I wanted out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just like that. I had to step back, even though in my intention, I know what my intention was when I said what I said. I had to just take a step back just to make sure I was actually being as fair as I thought I was. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we don't see or hear ourselves.
Right.
But sometimes it takes an outside perspective to be like, nah, you was a little insensitive. Or nah, yeah, you came off salty. Yada, you know what I mean? Because in our mind, you know that's not your intention, but that don't mean that's not the way it's coming off. So I often wonder what's more important, intention or perception.
Intention, because you can't control perception, right? Like I'm pretty sure when a lot of audiences first met me, they perceived me to be this little hothead, this fire, and it's like, nah, that ain't really me. Like I'm just somebody who
that might be
really,
you, Mouse.
Okay,
that might
see. That's your perception.
That might be you, slightly.
Listen, I'm 5'8" and I like respect. So maybe that may come across as that, but really, all it's really saying, and I had to step back and think about it after having many conversations with people and you and others. Like, nah, I had this chip on my shoulder. That I was 26 years old with 2 kids, and then I figured out what I wanted to do. When I'm in a lane with people who've been figured out what they did, who been figured out what they want to do, had connections, went to college, things I didn't do. So any slight against me felt like you were coming for me. So I was responding like that. I had to figure that out. But my intention was never to just start shit with nobody, or my intention wasn't to take it farther than that. My intention was to just gain my respect. And you gonna, if I see you disrespecting me, no, I need that. You got to get at. You got, however I'm gonna get it. So it's always then. Me personally, I always think it's the intention.
The sad part about this business, right? Figuring out what you want to do is usually the easy part. The hard part is figuring out who you actually are. Because a lot of us are, we're all growing in real time, right? Because what I've seen happen over the years and what I've always tried to avoid is something that I talk about on this podcast often is like, you see people hit a ceiling. The reason they hit a ceiling is because they get stuck in their caricature. You know what I mean? So the perception of them is what they try to keep going, right? So these are people who know what they want to do, which is this radio podcast thing, but they don't necessarily know who they are. And they get stuck in people's perception of them because that perception is what has made them money. That perception is what has gotten them ratings. That perception is what has gotten them opportunities. Like people know them for that. So they kind of get stuck in that, and eventually you hit a ceiling. Like you gotta constantly be able to know who you are. And people talk about reinventing yourself, which is so lame to me, right? Because
I mean, who were you 5 seconds ago?
Exactly. It's not about reinventing yourself. It's just about evolving.
Exactly.
Because when you evolve, you're naturally reinventing yourself. I'm not going to be the same now 10 years from now. Just like I wasn't the same as I am now 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
But even in that, there's still a level of who you are, right? When you reinvent yourself, that means you're a completely different person. Like you can't reinvent yourself because essentially that's like saying I went and got a new body or something like that. No, your inside is still the same. And I think that's what people are connected to, right? They can't connect to you if you're this completely different person from who they connected with 5 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if the feeling that you connected with is authenticness, right? If it's authentic, if that's what you connected with a person for, because they're authentic, that's usually where my connections with people come from.
The authenticity.
I just like people who are authentic. I don't have to agree with you. I may not agree with things that you say and everything, but if you're authentic, if that's truly who you are, it's just something about you that makes me gravitate towards you. If you're being authentic, it don't matter how you grow and how you evolve, as long as you take people on that journey. It's when you are just aging and not evolving and staying in this character that it starts to look fake. You're like, I don't want to be a part of that no more. You know what I'm saying? And by the way,
it's scary. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think the scariest thing about that in our industry is when you do that and you're just aging and you're stuck in this character. It forces the fans to be, or the supporters, it puts them in a weird predicament. Because then essentially you're going to clash with something or someone, and then you're going to put the fans in a predicament where they can't like both of you and they have to pick a side. Right? And it's like, do you want to be the person, like, if you're going to force the fans to pick a side, let it be between right and wrong. Don't let it be because you're forcing them to pick between your ego, your aging ego, and someone who doesn't subscribe to your aging ego.
Mm-hmm. Why do we even got to pick a side in this business? If you want to listen to Mouse, listen to Mouse. If you want to listen to, academics, listen to academics. If you want to listen to Nori, listen to Nori. Like it's enough for everybody to be listened to.
I think some people are forced to pick sides when they feel like somebody's wrong. When they feel like somebody's wrong, that's when you're forced to pick a side, right? If there's a situation regarding somebody and you're like, oh no, that person's wrong, and it's almost like music, right? Like why have a lot of people stopped listening to the little guy, the Tory Lanez kid? Because essentially they feel whatever happened was wrong. They're standing on the side of right. So that's essentially what happens with us, except it's not 3 minutes. You're usually listening to us for hours on end. And these people feel connected to us in a very specific niche way. Like we're in their ears, right? We're talking to them. They're thinking about writing letters to us and DMing us to get, so it's completely different. So it's more than a music artist. Like you're literally bought into the way you think. They literally buy into the way I think, the way Schulz thinks, the way Ryan thinks, the way Mac thinks. Like they're bought in. So when something challenges that, the listeners feel just as challenged as the actual person.
By the way, people are lying when they say they don't listen to Tory Lanez no more. I hear that all praises due to the Most High song on the radio all the time. And it's actually a really slick move on Tory's part, because you know how when you walking down the street and somebody tries to hand you a Jesus pamphlet, you're going to take that pamphlet. You're going to take that church pamphlet. You know what I'm saying? If it say God or church on it, you're going to take it. It's the same
I keep
thing.
my hands in my pocket. I don't take that. I don't take that. I don't take no pamphlets. I don't take no propaganda, nothing.
Really?
Keep it away. I keep your paraphernalia away from me.
So if somebody walks to you right now and he's like, yo, Jesus wants to save you, here.
I'm a head nod and my hands in my pocket. They're not coming out.
Wow. Tory did the cheat code. He named it. The song is All Praises Due to the Most High. That's the hook. I can see how DJs can have a little struggle when it comes to not playing that record.
I think with him, what's happening with him and Meg, that it, I've never seen this. Not with black people. Like, I've never seen a black person be able to fight something like this before. I've never seen a black man be able to fight this before. Like,
explain.
If anyone else, he would have been out of here. Like, and you would have argued against it. You would have spoke up against it. It would have made you worse. He actually has it's a split. Like, no.
Yo, we acting like we haven't seen things like this before. I
haven't.
I'm not into man, that's Hustle Man from the fifth floor just walked into your house like that.
Nah, it's my dad.
I'm not into what's the word? The crime Olympics. Like, I'm not trying to
the
compare
crime Olympics.
What crime is, but
yeah,
we've seen pedophilia. We've seen domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? We've seen, people go to jail for murder. We've seen that in our culture. We've seen these musicians who have done these things, these artists who have done these things. Radio still plays their records. You know what I'm saying? People still invite them to award shows. Like that's why you standing on real shaky moral ground when you like, well, you shouldn't be playing Tory Lanez music. Yeah, but you playing all these other artists who talking about drug dealing and killing and everything else.
That's different, right? If you're talking about your lived experience, that's one thing, right? Like, I'm never going to judge somebody for that. Like, if you're talking about your lived experience, what you went through, I'm with it.
Mm-hmm.
If we talking about you, like, now if your lived experience is abusing women, black women at that, I'm not going to support that. So let alone to watch him, like, what, a week before, he was talking about Breonna Taylor standing third, and then this comes out. It's weird. For me, it's weird. It definitely had. This is probably the first time in a long time I'm looking around like at everybody like, yo, what you want right now?
Well, what about all the music historically in hip hop that has been violent towards women? It's a lot of
like
it.
What? Like, I hear that argument, but then I ask people like, what?
A lot. Like you got. I mean, it's a lot. It's so much. I don't even want to quote any of these brothers because I don't even want people to go searching for this shit and digging up people and trying to cancel them. But it's almost like violence against women was a genre of music at one point. I'm serious. Like it was nothing to hear guys talking about beating women, sexually assaulting women, whatever it was. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, it's real shaky moral high ground to stand on in hip hop. To say we shouldn't be playing his music because it's so many people's music you got to stop playing, and even whether the music is because of something they did or something they're saying in their actual music.
Like, are we that connected to these remixes? Like, that's really what I'm asking. Like, are we that connected to these 2000 and these early 2000 remixes that we're not going to move off of that?
We could talk. If you're talking about R. Kelly, we could talk about that.
No, I was specifically talking about Tory. Like, are we that connected to him?
Oh no, listen, I'm not. I think Tory's talented, but I'm not. I'm not. But I'm not saying somebody wouldn't be though. But there are artists who people have that connection to. Like, yo, you can't tell nobody nothing bad about Michael Jackson. Some people you can't tell nothing bad about R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? And by the and by the way, I'm all for everybody. That's the other thing. We talk about picking sides. Like, yo, if some people believe that they're not guilty of what they're being accused of, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Just like everybody has their right to an opinion. But the music is the music. Either the music slaps or it doesn't. I'm just saying that if it comes to us deciding whether or not we're going to play artists based off things that they've done, outside of the music, man, it's a lot of artists that we might not need to be playing there.
Well, but I don't think Tory got no slappers that caused that. Tory don't got no slappers that make us have that conversation.
I can't speak to that. I'm not into Tory's music like that. You know what I'm saying?
Tory don't got no slap. All his slappers, or the records you would talk about are just remixes of songs that we really liked 15 years ago.
I don't even want to say the Tory record I really like. Now's not an appropriate time to say it. But I really do like. There is one Tory Lanez record I think slaps. You know which one I'm talking about too.
I know which one you're talking about.
And I don't even want to say it because I don't even want nobody to think I'm even trying to be funny or play with that situation because, you know, a young woman was traumatized in that situation. But that record slaps. You know, like, it does, man. That record slaps. And I've spoken about the record before. If you go back and watch Breakfast Club interviews, I've told them how much I like that record. You know, it's just the irony of it. I'll just say it. The irony is the record is Shooters. But that's just the irony. It's the irony that I really, really like that record. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. It's not fun, Mouse. It's not supposed to be laughed at.
Oh God!
Sister.
I didn't think you was gonna say it. That's why I'm laughing. I
mean, I can say it because my intention is not. I'm not trying to. If you go back and watch old Breakfast Club interviews with Tory, I've told him that. That's probably my favorite Tory Lanez record. But I also have not listened to a whole lot of Tory. You know what I mean?
That little nigga gotta go. I don't care what nobody say. That little nigga gotta go.
He gotta have his day in court.
He gotta go until then.
What are you supposed to do?
Well, listen, I don't like that. You know what? I don't like that. I don't like that thought process because it puts us in this predicament that it puts us, especially when black men say that, we gotta wait for their day in court. Any other time we talk about how fucked up the court system is. So why are we leaving it in the hands? Oh no, the court gonna get it right with this one.
I just think we're saying everybody is allowed due process. That's all.
But they're not. The truth is they're not. We just got to talk about objectivity. Doesn't really. It does not. Due process ain't really due process
because it's social media and the court of public opinion. And by the way, I've seen too many people get crucified because of the court of public opinion. Like it's people that are really facing horrible situations right now, and social media has buried them, convicted them. You know, jurors go into the courtroom and they've seen all of this stuff on social media and they think they know. So speaking of objectivity, they're not even listening to the actual case.
But that's been done. That we can't blame social media for that. There's a great documentary on Netflix. I think it's called The Court of Public Opinion. I think. But it talks just about that. It talks about how when courts were when like court proceedings started being filmed and things of that nature, that a lot of these cases, the cases that they cover, were fought not in the courtroom. It was outside. It was what the lawyers did outside the courtroom to make these people look better and look. So that was happening before social media. That was happening way before social media. So we can't blame it on that. That's why when they said the other day that Bootsy was shot, I said, hold on, y'all. Wait for all the facts to come out. We don't know what happened. We got to do the same thing. We have to do the same thing, especially about the people that had the biggest mouth about the situation. You got to have you.
But that's what I'm saying about Tory though. So it's like you got to let him have his due process. Like you can't get rid of him right now because truth be told, it's two sides to the story, right?
I don't believe that. I think that I love when people say that. I don't believe that. I think there's the truth and there's the lie. I don't care. We
don't know which is which. We really don't.
He said he didn't shoot her. Yeah, the girl is shot. What else? What else are we talking about here?
I don't know.
Fair.
That's all I'm saying. I don't know. Like
right.
I can't. I'm not picking a side. I don't want her to have to relive that trauma. You know what I mean? And I don't know what I want to see happen to him. If he actually did what she said she did, he deserves everything that the universe has got coming his way. But if he didn't do it and it went another way than we think, hey man, you know what I'm saying? That's why I just be like, I don't know. Like let the facts come out in the future, I guess.
So speaking about that though, somebody hit me yesterday and was like, yo, your man wild. I said, what happened? He sent me a clip and it was, I guess they was talking about y'all didn't want to have her on if she didn't, because she didn't want to talk about that.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That was let's get into Positively Brilliant and What a Fucking Idiot. I don't know where this lands under it, under which one, but that conversation I was having had nothing to do with Megan. You know what I mean? If you saw the whole clip, we even said at the end of the clip, like, I'm 100% sure it's not Megan. You know, that's the label or the representative. My whole point of that statement was treat the black media outlets and black publications the same way you treat the white ones. Megan got her album coming out, Good News. The label or her representative, somebody hit our producer and was like, yo, we want to get Megan on Breakfast Club. But here's a list of things that you can't ask her about. It wasn't even just the Tory Lanez stuff. It was Tory Lanez. It was the article she did for, I think, the New York Times or something like that. And I'm like, that was a great article. Like, she stood up for black women. Like, you know what I mean? Why wouldn't we be able to ask about that? And, you know, there was other things on there which I understood, you know, because it's things that I'm sure still traumatize her, like, you know, her mother and everything else. It's like, we've interviewed Megan before. We've had these conversations. I didn't ask them that type of stuff then, so why would I ask that now? I understand that's a trigger. That's your mom died? Like, why would I bring that up, right? So it was just a list of things that they didn't want us to ask. So I respectfully declined. That has nothing to do with Megan. We do that all the time. If you come in there with a laundry list of things and you don't want us to talk about, cool, we'll see you next time. It's no need for the conflict or the back and forth. But when the GQ magazine comes out, she's giving it up, you know? And it's not even like I don't want to talk about that shit with her. I don't want to talk about the Tory Lanez shit and have her reliving that trauma. It's just the principle for me. These label reps and these labels, when it comes to these white publications, you want this cover, you want this appearance on this late night show, you know, you want to be named Rapper of the Year. No restrictions.
By GQ.
Yeah, but when it comes to the black media outlets and black publications, can't ask this, can't ask that. And so what does that make our people do when they tune into our interviews? They like, man, they didn't ask about this, they didn't talk about that, they didn't do X, Y, and Z, yada, yada, yada. It's like, that makes us look whack.
And that's the scariest part about all of that, right? Because I think the scariest part about all of this is everybody has a podcast. Everybody is doing interviews with whatever upcoming rapper in their neighborhood. So everybody thinks that, and that's the good and bad part of it, because everybody knows or feels they know how an interview should go. So right now they could kind of see like, oh, well, he didn't ask this, and why wouldn't he ask that? So they think I 100% agree with you in that instance where it does put the black media platforms you put us in a fucked up position.
Yeah, and you're keeping the white publications and white media outlets looking like they the leaders in the space because you giving them all the shit. You know what I mean? And by the way, even if an artist says no comment, at least that publication was allowed to ask. And I tell artists that all the time. If I ask you something, you can say no comment. You know what I mean? That's fine. But most of the time, it's not even coming from the artists. It's the labels, it's the representatives, it's the publicists. They're just, you know, being overprotective, which is fine. You know what I mean? But for me, it was just about principle. It didn't have anything to do with Megan personally. I got nothing but love for Megan. You know what I mean? I don't know her on a personal level, but I salute her. I respect her talent. I think, you know, when she does her thing with her knees, where she's like doing the twerk thing and she gets real low, that shit is better than the moonwalk to me. You know what I mean? And so, like, when she did that shit to that video, what was that song? Thick? She thick when she was in the dance studio? Man, bro, that shit was like the moonwalk. But I'm saying all that to say it had nothing to do with her. Like, this is literally about, I want these labels and label representatives and the publicists, whoever else, show the same respect you give to them white outlets to the black outlets. Simple. That's it. And that's funny. What you brought up is what Partisan was calling me about.
Okay.
That's what that was. That's what that was. So I took it upon myself to, you know, just personally reach out to Meg and let her know, like, yo, if you I hope you weren't offended by that. You know, I hope you didn't take it personal. It had nothing to do with you. You know, it was just it was more of an indictment of the labels and the label representatives and the publicists and all of that shit like that. Because if we don't fight for that shit, they ain't gonna never give black media outlets that respect. If Breakfast Club can't get that respect, what they gonna do to a morning show somewhere else or another black podcaster somewhere else? Like, somebody got to be like, nah.
What do you do? So what do you do? All right. So Guys Next Door, we was City Girls' first podcast appearance, right? Mm-hmm. So same thing happens, right? And we've had big guests before, but they come on and the girl tells us like, yo, this they first. And in that team is some friends of mine. So they were like, yo, Mouse, please don't ask this, please. I'm like, come on, yo, like, don't do that to me. But all right, cool. Give a big list. I'm like, all right, we won't talk about that. I'm like, what the fuck are we gonna talk about? Now, not an indictment of them, but there ain't no podcast interviewers, or at least not in. It was in the middle of the pandemic, so they're on the screen and we're on the screen. They can't really feel us, and vice versa. So I'm like, yo, y'all kind of pigeonholed us.
Yeah.
But then you guys had them on Breakfast Club, and like you had asked the question. I'm like, oh, that was on the list. I know that was on the list. I think you said it too. I think you like, they told me not to ask this, but I'm gonna ask this. So if you're always in that predicament, what does it do for the future, right? Like if you're always in a predicament where you gotta buck against that, do you just always keep bucking against it, and then
you have to depending on what it is? I mean, situations that have been traumatic for people, I'm not dwelling on that. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody to relive that trauma. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit there and ask, Megan to talk about that night. You know what I mean? I'm not going to talk about her mom. Like, it's just, with any artist, any artist that's been through some trauma, right? I'm not going to stand on that. But sometimes it's just some silly shit that they don't want us to ask. And by the way, you can ask a bunch of label reps this. Label reps have come and said, yo, don't ask about such and such. And I'll be like, I wasn't even thinking about it. But now it's going to be my first fucking question. And you can ask them. Ask label reps. Ask Angie, Angela, and Envy. I do that shit all the time. If it's not some traumatic shit. Right. You know what I mean? If it's just some shit like, oh, she don't want you to ask about this person she dating, or he don't want you to ask about,
See, and that was the thing. I ain't gonna hold you, for the first time ever in an interview, I felt pussy. I was like, yo, why didn't I ask this, son? Like, I should have asked this, because it would have just switched up the energy, just because when you got this digital space in between us, it's like, if we were in the same room, the way I would have smiled or the way she would have smiled, it would have been a different energy. We're fighting against this fucking digital barrier that we have right now. And it's like, yo, come on, son. Like, that was the first interview I ever felt pussy. I was like, I should have asked that.
Yeah, I remember when the City Girls came on this year, because Young Miami's been on by herself before, but when City Girls came on this year with JT, it was via Zoom. And I remember Chris Green, salute to Chris Green at Capitol.
Shout out to Chris, yeah.
Chris was like, yo, please, Charlotte, please don't ask about Lil Uzi.
That was the question I wanted to ask.
That wasn't even on my mind. I didn't know shit about JT and Lil Uzi. But now I'm going to ask about it 3 times.
I wanted to ask something, and they was like, it was big and bold. It was like, Mouse, please. They didn't say Mac name. They didn't say Ryan name. They said, Mouse, please don't ask about. I said, all right, I'm going to be respectful. Because of Chris and Brittany. I was like, I'm going to be respectful off the back of Chris and Brittany, but nah, fuck out of here. And next time, I'm asking.
50 this week. 50, Renee. Salute to Renee. I'm sorry, label reps. I'm talking. Salute to Renee from G, and Renee was like, "Yo, man, please, man, don't ask him about Trump." I'm like, Renee, I don't give a fuck about the Trump shit. Like, that wasn't even on my mind. Like, that wasn't even in my wheelhouse. Guess what? 50 bought it up.
That be the part.
50 bought it up. I ain't say 50 put it on the table, and that went viral. I'm like, so most of the time, like I said, it's not even the artist. It's the label reps doing what they supposed to be doing. It's the publicists doing what they supposed to be doing, protecting their client. I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying, as a radio personality or a podcast host or a TV personality, yo, just use your regular, human compass.
Right.
Discernment. Like, you know what I mean? It's just about, I don't want nobody digging into my trauma, so I'm not going to dig into nobody else's trauma. It's really just that simple for me. All right, let's take a break and pay some bills. Turn your dream into a reality with Squarespace. Squarespace makes it easier than ever to launch your passion project. Whether you're looking to start a new business, showcase your work, publish content, sell products, and more, Squarespace is the tool for you. With beautiful templates created by world-class designers and the ability to customize just about anything with a few clicks, you can easily make a beautiful website yourself. Squarespace's powerful e-commerce functionality lets you sell anything online, and analytics helps you grow your site in real time. Everything is optimized for mobile right out of the box, and there's nothing to patch or upgrade ever. Buying domains is simple, and you'll get the help you need with Squarespace's 24/7 award-winning customer support. Squarespace empowers millions of people, from designers to lawyers, artists to gamers, even restaurants and gyms, to turn great ideas into something real. Head to squarespace.com/idiot for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code idiot to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/idiot, offer code idiot. Today's episode of Brilliant Idiots is also brought to you by Blue Chew. Okay? Salute to Blue Chew, man. Thank you for sponsoring us. Let's talk about something we could all use more of right now. Sex. Great sex. We all love sex, okay? It's the ultimate stress reliever. There's really nothing better than sex on this planet, okay? Everything we've ever done since the beginning of time is leading us to have more sex, okay? That's why men want to be successful, all right? That's why we take showers and get haircuts in hopes that our women always find us attractive so we can have sex, all right? It's relevant and comfortable, Blue Chew is, all right? So, guys, do you want to know how you can increase your performance and have better sex and get that extra confidence in bed with Blue Chew? Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach, so you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises. Blue Chew is made in the USA. It's prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor or wait in line. It's even cheaper than a pharmacy, and they prepare and ship it right to you in a discreet package, okay? No awkwardness, and you don't need to leave the house. Now, right now, we've got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com and get your free shipment free when you use our special promo code IDIOTS. Just pay $5 shipping. Again, that's BlueChew.com, promo code IDIOTS to try it free. Please be sure to use our promo code IDIOTS at BlueChew.com. Now, let's get back to the show. Let's keep going with Positively Brilliant. What a fucking idiot. Because I got to ask you about this, man. Tonight, as probably some of y'all might, I doubt y'all gonna be listening to this while y'all watching this, but Gucci Mane versus Jeezy in a Versuz battle.
17-3. 17-3 Jeezy.
You disrespectful.
17-3 Jeezy. I'm gonna tell you why. One, the most important part, or the most practical part that everybody's forgetting, is that this is all streaming based. So all that mixtape shit that I guess some people fell in love with, you ain't gonna hear tonight because it's not on streaming.
That's a lie.
I haven't heard.
Gucci has 103 albums and mixtapes combined, and if you
on streaming,
yes, if you go to Tidal right now,
that's what it was.
It's all of them shit. Matter of fact, and listen, by the way, let me
Elliot backdoored it for the battle.
No, let me be clear when I say this. Jeezy is in my top 7 favorite rappers of all time. If you know me, you've heard me say that a million times. It's Jeezy, T.I., Scarface, Killer Mike, Ghostface, Nas, Sean Carter. Those are my 7 favorite rappers of all time. Catalog, love their music. I can ride to their shit all day long. With that said, I think Jeezy should win this Versuz, but I'm not going to sit here and act like Gucci Mane don't have slappers. See, the thing with Gucci Mane, the difference between Gucci Mane and Jeezy is Jeezy has better bodies of work, meaning Jeezy has 2 classic albums and 2 really great albums. TM 101 and The Recession.
Yeah. Okay, I hear that.
Recession is a classic to me. The other 2 are TM 103 and The Inspiration. Those are really great albums.
Those are really good albums. Yeah.
Those are better bodies of work. Even Trap or Die is a mixtape. You could count that as a really great body of work.
Trap or Die, the mixtape was it. That's what set me. I was like, oh, I don't know who this fat nigga is, but I'm with it.
Jeezy has. I think that Trap or Die movement is one of the top 5 biggest movements in hip hop history. I
got suspended 5 days for wearing that shirt. Came back with the same shirt in red. Got suspended another 5 days.
People don't even remember that. They don't remember when the Snowman t-shirt was banned.
It was banned in all schools.
Yes.
It was banned.
That shit was on CNN.
Schools.
The Snowman is banned. That's why he made the mixtape Can't Ban the Snowman.
I went in there. I went into the school. And the crazy part is, to this day, I've never classified myself as a Jeezy fan. I'm not a Jeezy fan. I like some of the music. I'm not a fan of all the music. But when the Snowman tease was out, I was looking like Riley from the Boondocks. I was mad short with a big ass t-shirt on. And I got suspended. They was like, and they called my nickname. They was like, Mouse, you know you can't wear this. I said, it's a freedom of speech. They said it's banned. They suspended me for 5 days. I came back with the next 5 days. I came back with the same t-shirt in red. Took another 5-day suspension just because niggas said I couldn't do it.
Wow.
Like, that Gucci Mane, I didn't have no ice cream tatted on my face. Like,
but see, that's the thing, right? It was T.I., it was Jeezy, and then it was Gucci Mane. When it comes to like just the trap music, I guess discography or history. Mm-hmm. I mean, even though all of them overlap, but I'm talking about as far as who was first, who was second, who was third in order. Gucci Mane definitely had a run, bro. And like what people don't realize about Gucci Mane, a lot of the new ATL is because of Gucci Mane. Like Gucci Mane.
How so? I've heard that this week a lot.
Because
How?
he signed him. He had the Migos early. Mm-hmm. He had 21 Savage early. He had Young Thug early. You know, when you go back and you look at what he did with Brick Squad, with Waka Flocka and OJ the Juice Man,
Mhm.
you know, even Gucci standing next to French Montana and Nicki Minaj, all of that helped them in a lot of ways. Like Gucci really is a great A&R. I would say he's probably the best A&R in the streets. Like if you just look at what Atlanta is right now and you look at the artists that are prospering in Atlanta, they all came through Gucci in some way, shape, or form. Like I was reading Gucci's book and I was like, wow, like Gucci actually had the Migos and you know, P was his best friend. So he let the Migos go with P. Thug, same thing with Thug. He was locked up, so he couldn't do nothing for none of these people. You know what I mean? So being that he was locked up, he's like, yo, Thug, go do your thing with Warner or whoever Thug signed to. So Gucci gets a lot of credit for that. And you said 17-3. You forgetting shit like Freaky Girl.
That's one of the three.
You forgetting shit like Lemonade.
That's two.
You forgetting shit like Shirt Off. My shirt off, my shirt off, my shirt
I don't know
off,
if
my shirt off.
it could be a beat. Those are the first two records. You know, I take that back.
I mean, all of these can be beat.
Freaky Girl. I don't think Jeezy got nothing for Freaky Girl.
Really?
Super
Freak.
I'm going Freaky Girl. I hate Super.
I might
Freak.
fuck with Freaky.
I hate that song with a passion. But I do think Lemonade is around for Gucci if he plays it in response to something. If he leads with Lemonade could get the fuck out of here. And Shirt Off could definitely get put out of here if it
Shirt
goes
hard.
first.
Wasted might be a guaranteed round.
I'll give it Wasted. Wasted makes it 16-4.
I'll tell you another classic he got, First Day Out. I'm starting off my day with a blunt of perp.
Now what if
pancakes, just a cup of syrup.
Now what if Jeezy responds with Soul Survivor?
I'm giving that the First Day Out.
So what if he goes Soul Survivor, the Jamaican remix?
What's the Jamaican remix?
You never heard the Soul Survivor reggae remix?
I don't like
Buddha bye.
I definitely don't like that shit.
See?
I definitely don't like that shit.
You're really a gentrifier. That's the craziest part.
Gucci, I think I love her.
That's a round.
Gucci, you don't love me. Gucci,
That's a round.
You don't love me.
It's 15-5. I can hear 15-5.
Bitch, I'm geeked up. Yeah, I might be.
You like that?
I might be. That shit is hard. But see, I came up in that era. Like I was in the clubs then. Go Ahead by Gucci Mane. Making Love to the Money. I'm a dog.
So Steph from formerly of Ball Alert, she's been on this kick for like a week. Steph's been on this kick for a week talking about how Jeezy went off how Gucci went off in the clubs. And I'm like, well, obviously I was 15, 16, so I wasn't in the clubs. But in the streets, we was hearing Jeezy. I know niggas in Jersey, they really love Gucci. Like, I never understood that. I know niggas in Jersey really, really love Gucci. I know niggas from Atlanta really love Gucci. But if we're talking about record for record, Jeezy's going to put out, niggas are the snow cone on Gucci Mane's face is going to melt when the horns from Go Crazy hit.
Listen, I'm not debating that. I'm telling you, Jeezy is one of my top 7 favorite artists of all time. I'm just telling you it's a sneaky, sneaky battle because Gucci got 20 bangers. Like if Gucci comes with, I'm a hood rich nigga, I ain't never had shit. I really ain't shit. Like Gucci got joints. So I'm just saying it's not, and I'm gonna tell you the sleeper, man. And it's really about Jeezy's temperament. Gucci could win this whole battle by starting off with the truth. If he starts off with the truth,
right,
the internet is going to lose its fucking mind. You might not even pay attention to the other 19 songs because you're going to be sitting there like the audacity of this nigga to play the goddamn truth in Jeezy's face wherever they at. And if I'm the DJ for Gucci, man, and I'm Gucci and I'm really trying to get in Jeezy head, I'm like, yo, play the drop.
No, don't play the drop.
The drop, just keep bringing that back every few songs.
Don't play the drop. Please don't play the drop.
This is a war. It's Versuz.
Listen, but it's not supposed. Listen, I'm praying that Swizz and Timbo, I know they're gonna hit. Please be smart enough not to have these niggas in the same room. Like, there's no way y'all
They're definitely
telling
in the
me,
same venue.
Okay, now tell me this. As real niggas. How does Jeezy explain that to his homeboys people?
You explain it by saying it's growth. The same shit that people got mad at Meek Mill at this week. And by the way, I understood where Meek was coming from.
Same. And that's positively brilliant.
And I understood. I think it was brilliant, but I understand where the brothers in Philly was coming from too, just because I've been in both mindsets. You know what I'm saying? I'm Meek is a multi-millionaire now who's got a lot of businesses and his mind is in a different place. But Meek has also been that gutter motherfucker. Just like we all have been that gutter motherfucker at one point. So you understand the laws of the street. Like like in Minister Society, he smoked your cousin right in front of you, face. And you ain't gonna do nothing, boo. Like that's what it is. So it's just like, yo, somebody gets smoked that you know, a partner of yours, you want to go get that revenge, you want to get that retaliation. But what Meek said is true. Yo, let's put them bodies behind us because guess what? Somebody got to break the cycle, Mouse. If you don't break the cycle, the shit just keeps going over and over and over and over. Yeah,
but you like the people you got. And I think this is the ugly part of it. This is the ugly part of it. It can't be the people that did it to break it. It gotta be lines down. It can't be. It gotta be Gucci's son and Jeezy's son. It gotta be Gucci's. Like
why though?
Because you're the nigga that bodied my man. And I'm gonna tell you what's different about this from.
But hold on real quick. Yes, that's the story. But it was also self-defense.
We know.
So both of them were wrong.
Right.
Yo, yeah, both of them were wrong. That's the cause and that's the effect. Both of them wrong.
I get it, but I can't, me personally. So the difference between the Meek situation and this is Meek is saying this to put everybody, like this is a mass migration almost. This is like, yo, this could get everybody to win. This situation with Gucci and Jeezy is a very self-serving one.
I don't think so.
Who benefits from y'all sitting in a room other than Jeezy?
I think black men, yo.
Hell no.
Yes, because it's showing that we can get past anything. Like it comes to a certain point where you
not with Gucci posting the shit he's posting. No,
he's entertaining.
You are making entertainment for my dead friend.
I'm with you. I'm not playing like that. But you gotta. I'm just putting myself in Gucci's shoes. And I'm thinking about when I interviewed Gucci last year. And I asked Gucci, you know what I mean?
You should probably not do no more Gucci interviews.
Yeah, shut up. but I asked Gucci about the situation with him, whatever the self-defense situation was. He didn't have no remorse.
You shouldn't.
He was like, yo, he came at me. He tried
shouldn't.
It was either me or him. He tried to take my life or whatever it was. He tried to rob me, whatever it was.
But now you making jokes in that man's face. And
that's
if
why
I'm a real nigga, my man.
That's why.
If that's my man that died like that, my man is tatted on my skin. What I'm about to say is I don't play with nobody that's tatted on me.
I'm with you.
You get what I'm saying? So I don't understand that part. Like that part is the part that bugs me out. The Meek situation I thought was super positively brilliant. I was like, I respect this because no matter what Meek is saying overall, this is something where everybody in the hood can win. I'm trying to really save my hood. This situation seems extremely self-serving because it comes in the middle of an album rollout. Let's talk about that. This is in the middle of an album rollout.
Well, this actually was supposed to happen since the summer. Like when Versuz first started. Mm-hmm.
I remember they initially asked him, but this is still all self-serve. This serves Jeezy. This is not, yo, everybody, we come, because that's not how Gucci is. Gucci is calling this nigga Lil Snow Cone. He's putting memes from Twitter up. Like, no.
Well, the only reason,
sir.
I mean, listen, Jeezy, it was supposed to be, Jeezy was going to do T.I. And then Jeezy came on Breakfast Club and Jeezy said, yo, he asked Gucci, but, Gucci respectfully declined. It's been a lot of conversations behind the scenes, salute to P, salute to Larry Jackson at Apple. Like, there's been a lot of different moving parts, but for whatever reason, these brothers decided to get on the same page. I don't have a problem with it. I think
they not on the same page. That's what I'm telling you. Jeezy is going to be at a disadvantage for that reason alone. They not on the same page.
What do you mean when you say that?
Because Jeezy is on this. I think Jeezy believes what he's pushing right now. Jeezy believes that he is this new person.
He is. Clearly he is.
And Gucci Mane is going to prove to you you're not, because it's just
I don't believe that. I don't believe that, man.
I will hope so, because Gucci is going to play with this nigga in a way that niggas should not be played with. Listen, speaking with Jeezy Jenkins, you guys see.
Gucci is entertaining. Jeezy's entertaining. I really wish that after this is over, they sit down and have a conversation on preferably Jeezy's podcast, the Recession Podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio Network. That would be nice. But I think it's good for the game. I think it's good for the culture. I think it's good to see two brothers, you know, because we keep talking about what Gucci did to Jeezy's man, but it's not like Jeezy didn't kind of order that. I mean, whether he did it directly or indirectly, on stage scrapped, he was like, I got $10,000 for somebody who bring me Gucci Mane's chain. You know what I'm saying? And that's the influence of music. Cause that
all I know is that my man is dead.
Yes.
That's all I know.
But guess what?
That's all I know.
And Gucci's in the room with somebody who ordered a hit on him. So it's the, you know what I mean?
Technically, allegedly, he ordered the delivery of a chain. He didn't say I wanted him dead. I wanted delivery
the chain. I got $10,000. He said it on stage scrap. I got $10,000 for anybody who bring me So Icy chain. Yes.
That's so
very dangerous. That shows you why words are powerful. Yo, imagine a rapper doing that right now in this climate. When the pandemic been all year, motherfuckers out here starving, wolves is hungry. Do that shit right now and watch what happens.
I don't know right now.
People will be at your door. But listen, I think Jeezy should win. And I think it's good for the culture. Mouse doesn't think so. Mouse thinks it's self-serving. I think it's
I don't think it's good for the culture. I think it is self-serving, but I do think I mean, you know me, I ain't shit. So I love shit like this. I said yesterday, I was like, I hope I hope that they not in the same room, but if they are, yes.
I think it's going to be very entertaining, and I think it's going to serve both of them very well if they keep it to the music. I think it's going to show people how amazing Jeezy's catalog is, and it's going to show people how great Gucci Mane's ear has been over the years. You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of people really have slept on Gucci. I think everybody got a favorite Gucci Mane record. You just don't. You may not have realized it was Gucci Mane, especially if you was in the club at a certain period of time down south.
I also think this is gonna show the gentrifiers and hipsters. This is gonna expose them. I think that's what something that's being missed, because Gucci Mane culturally is probably a little stronger of an entity than Jeezy is, because Gucci, like Jeezy had that first run in the hood with the snowman shirt and all that, but Gucci Mane's been on Supreme. They got Gucci ads, so like there's a bunch of white kids right now that like wear Gucci Mane shirts, have probably never heard a Gucci Mane song.
And Gucci's been on shit like Fumble the Bag with the Migos. You know what I mean? Black Beatles with Ray Shmurmur.
So there's gonna be a song. What's his name?
What did I say?
Nah, I just
Ray Shmurmur. Black Beatles, Ray Shmurmur. Gucci's on that record. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying.
It sounded like it sounded inaudible. That's what it really sounded like.
but Gucci on that.
Yeah, Gucci's so like I think there's gonna be a lot of records that are played that a lot of these kids that claim to be Gucci Mane fans never heard. Like First Day Out's gonna hit, and these kids are gonna be like, "What's that? Oh man, this is new."
I salute guys like Gucci. The reason I salute guys like Gucci is because I really do love how he invested in other people. You know what I'm saying? I love that.
I respect it. I've just never been. I've always told people I said it to you. I like my rappers to be able to rap, and I think at the time Gucci Mane and Jeezy came out, it was still very New York centric.
Them boys be snapping. Gucci and Jeezy be rapping their ass off.
See, here you go lying. All right, nope. Not about to. Now I see what's happening. You're not gonna set me up this time. All right.
Listen, I'm gonna read. These are Gucci Mane lyrics to Never Had Shit, right? And everybody should go Google this song right now, because he probably gonna hear it tonight during the battle, and you're gonna love it after you hear it. Gucci said, I ain't never had shit, nigga, that's the truth. Rich kids in the school used to draw on my shoes. Name stayed on the board, 4 checks in chalk. In detention because the teachers say that we can't talk. Counselor ragging and my mama got that I just walk. I wish I had a nickel for every fight I fought. Stealing candy out the store like I can't get caught. Just a little bad black boy. It ain't my fault. After school snacks surfing 4 pieces of bread. Granddaddy, why your eyes so goddamn red? Got a real soft ass and a hard ass head. Better mind your fucking manners, boy. That's what he said. Nigga, Gucci be snapping, nigga. I'm a hood rich nigga. I ain't never had shit. I really
You wouldn't
ain't
read
shit.
those lyrics and think if you didn't hear the song, you wouldn't read those lyrics like that. You would read them and be like, what is this? Like if you heard the song first, if you like, no, I hate when you rapping it the way he rapping, like not like that. But once again, it speaks that what I will say is that speaks to some people that grew up like that. I didn't grow up like that, and I wasn't hearing that throughout the hood. I was hearing Jadakiss. I was at that time Jadakiss, Styles. They was all over everything. Fab. G-Unit, Banks was spitting over everything. So at those times with those competing, I was definitely going with where I was from. So
Gucci Mane a ball. A lot of them niggas you just named.
No, he won't. Stop, stop playing. Yo, what's wrong with you?
Gucci Mane would ball a lot of them niggas you just named bro.
So, all right, let me run it off. So he'll bar Jadakiss?
Nah, he ain't gonna bar Jadakiss. It depends on the record, though. Depend on the record. Depend on the record. Because Kiss like to jump on a lot of down south joints.
And Kiss blacks. 20 plus years. No, I lied. Almost 30 years, not one bad verse.
I think Gucci might have watched Jada on a record before. Yo, OJ the Juice Man definitely got the best of Jada on a record.
On Who's Phony? Kiss blacked on him.
No, not that one. It was wasn't it a remix?
Nah, it was Who's Phony? Who's Fake? Those are the type of people I hate. That's on the last Kiss album. And Kiss blacked on him.
Nah, OJ ate on that.
Get the yo. All right. So Gucci Mane. So you just said Gucci Mane a boss Jadakiss. That's crazy.
Nah,
they're gonna flip on you. That's what you said.
Nah,
you said that. Stand on it.
Kiss got it. Kiss got it.
Okay. Styles P.
No, of course not.
Bad. Lloyd Banks.
She might ball Lloyd Banks up.
Niggas is only saying this because Lloyd Banks don't be outside. That's why he's talking crazy like this.
I just like pissing off New Yorkers. But
this is crazy.
All I'm telling you,
you're really a gentrifier. Like, you're really a gentrifier when you think about it. You're a gentrifier.
Explain.
You came in, you immerse yourself in our culture.
I'm a down south guy. I've been living in New York for the past 10 years. I love New York. A lot of my family is from Jersey. I've been coming to Jersey forever. You know, so it only makes sense that I live here in Jersey now. Like my first cousins and uncles and aunts are right here in Jersey.
First of all, the level of disrespect you just showed Lloyd Banks is absolutely insane.
The
level of disrespect. You didn't show no levels of disrespect like you did to Lloyd Banks and Jadakiss. The fact that you even thought about it with Jada.
I was fucking around with Jada. Jada's one of the best to ever do it. I think Lloyd is dope too, but I can definitely quote more Gucci Mane verses than Lloyd Banks, and that's not a knock to Lloyd because Lloyd is dope. Just letting you know.
That's crazy.
Let's pay some bills, and then I want to come back and do some shit we won't care about next week. Believe it or not, the holidays are almost here. It's been a strange few months, so why not give friends and family the gift that puts a jingle back in their step? All right? Runners around the world have loved Features for years, but they're not just for runners anymore. Features Elite Golf Socks will give the golfer on your list what they really want, an edge on the links, okay? Meticulously engineered to keep feet cool, dry, and comfortable drive after drive. Zone-specific compressions for targeted support. No slipping, bunching, or sliding. Anatomical design conforms to left and right foot for a molded fit that prevents blisters. Man, y'all really taking this golfing thing seriously, huh? Features has tons of styles to choose from no-show to knee-highs, ultra-light knit to maximum cushion, and with designs tailored for everyday wear, athletic performance, and extra support. Lifetime guarantee at Features. Okay, if you're unsatisfied at any point, get a replacement pair, no questions asked. Features is a proudly family-owned business. Hugh Gaither founded the company in 2002, and now he and his sons, John and Joe, own and operate the company in North Carolina. I love to hear that coming from the Carolinas. Their mission to create products that help you achieve your personal best. I'm actually going to get G-Spin some features. G-Spin is an avid golfer. G-Spin is one of the people that was very instrumental in putting the Breakfast Club together. And bringing me on to the Breakfast Club. I'm going to get him a pair of socks for Christmas, a pair of golfing socks. You can get $10 off your first pair of Features just in time for the holidays. Use promo code IDIOTS at features.com for $10 off your first pair. That's FEETURES.com, promo code IDIOTS. Also, I got to salute the Cushy Dreams. Before the show started, we were talking about the benefits of THC and CBD. So let me take this time to tell you about Cushy Dreams, okay? Cushy Dreams offers a full lineup of premium smokable CBD. Chris, this is probably what you need because Chris don't like the hallucinogenic effects of THC. So you probably need some CBD, okay? Now, Cushy Dreams, they specialize in extraordinary CBD-rich hemp flower, okay, a.k.a. bud, and pre-rolled CBD joints, all right? I like CBD a lot, you know, especially when I don't feel like, you know, getting all the way high and, you know, feeling the anxiety and the panic attacks that come with the THC sometimes. Sometimes CBD actually does for me what they say indica is supposed to do for me. Because indica still be feeling like sativa a lot to me. but you can enjoy all of the health benefits of CBD without getting high. It's cannabis that ships directly to you, and it's legal in all 50 states. Join the men and women who are sick of vapes and gummies and want to smoke their CBD. Looks like high-quality marijuana, feels like high-quality marijuana, and it tastes like high-quality marijuana. Cushy is 100% hand-trimmed, never machine-trimmed. Each batch is slow-cured for 2 to 4 weeks to guarantee maximum freshness and preserved flavor and cannabinoids. Best of all, is grown in the USA. Cushy Dreams has CBD flower in it, and the pre-rolled joints, okay? They come in specific indica sativa blends like Energy, Hustle, Relax, and Dream. Go to cushydreams.com, Kushy. Get some high-quality CBD bud. At checkout, use promo code IDIOTS for 20% off your next order. Smoke your CBD. Now let's get back to the show. Hey, matter of fact, I want to do some church announcements right here. Black Effect Podcast Network. Make sure you go check that out. All the podcasts that we have on the Black Effect Podcast Network. Ebony K. Williams, who is absolutely one of my favorite podcasts. I'm not saying that just because she's on the Black Effect. She just dropped her new episode today, actually. Her new episode is Hell No, We All Can't Just Get Along, from Rodney King to George Floyd. So salute to her and Dustin. I'm telling you, the way Ebony breaks down law in such a digestible way. Make sure you go check out the new episode of Straight Shot No Chaser by Teslin Figaro. Nina Turner is out. Hello Somebody. That's out right now. New episodes of All the Smoke are available. Just go to the iHeartRadio app, type in the Black. Who else? Oh, yes. Boom. My Son and Tamika, we launched them this week. We got 2 launching this week. My Son and Tamika was Creep Politicians. They launched this week, so make sure you go check that out. And make sure you go check out Debbie Brown, Dropping Gems. She launches today, actually. Tamika and My Son launched yesterday, and Debbie Brown launches today. So make sure you go check all that out. Just go on the iHeartRadio app, type in the Black Effect, and all the podcasts will come up. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts. And salute to Tamika Mallory. I launched my book imprint this week, Black Privilege Publishing. And Tamika Mallory is going to be the first book off of Black Privilege Publishing. The name of the book is called State of Emergency. Tamika Mallory, that's my leader. If you're a Black person in America, she's your leader too. She's one of those people that's on the front lines fighting for us at all times, and you niggas don't deserve it. Y'all really don't. Y'all don't deserve Tamika, but y'all won't realize that, until way later in the future. You never really appreciate what you have until you don't have it. So in the future, a long time from now, history is going to be very kind to Tamika Mallory and her book State of Emergency. I'm glad I get to help her immortalize her words. You know what I mean? Because her book is going to be a way to help you navigate your way to true liberation and freedom in this country, man. Because whether y'all realize it or not, ain't shit changed with the administration. Black people are in the same conditions. Black people are in the same positions. We got a long way to go and a lot more to fight for. So yes, we are indeed in a state of emergency. So go pre-order Tamika Mallory's book wherever you pre-order books, okay? Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, everywhere. All right, let's get back to the show. Shit you won't care about next week. Listen, this is good. We should care about this next week. New York to send mental health experts the 911 calls. I actually should have put that in Positively Brilliant, because that's what we've been. Positively Brilliant. Yeah, we've been screaming that forever. Stop sending fucking police officers with guns to go deal with mental health cases, because they not ready for that. You know what I'm saying? It's not in their job description. Nah. And the easiest thing to do is, take somebody out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not even realizing that this person is dealing with bipolar, anger management issues, whatever it is. This dude might just be schizophrenic. He's not in his right mind. So you got to send. You know what that's called? What's that called? That's called defunding the police. Defunding the police. Defunding the police. Look, police, we have not abolished them. Mm-hmm. We are simply saying, okay, let's spend some of this money that goes to them collecting their Call of Duty weapons. Let's put it over here so we can ensure that at least the people that are called for mental health crisis can ensure that they make it. Because we already have a hard enough time. We don't know if the person called for actual crime is going to make it. Mm-hmm. So let's assure that the people that's called 911 for mental health crisis, let's ensure that they get home. Yeah, I wouldn't even call it defund the police. I'd call it refund the community, because it's our tax dollars anyway. You know what I'm saying? My problem is, I was having this conversation with my dad a few weeks ago, because I think it was like the day after the election. I can't think of the guy's name, and I feel like he's the Democratic South Carolina representative. I can't think of his name. Jimmy Harrison. Jim Clyburn.
Clyburn.
My OG.
And, yes, so Jim Clyburn was on TV and he was talking about changing the wording of it to make people feel good. And I said, that's bullshit, right? Like, that's bullshit. Why should we, like...
Nah, he's right.
I disagree. The reason I disagree is because the people whose job it is that you're bringing in front of, their job is to understand context. Their job is to understand the larger picture here. So if the people whose job it is to understand it isn't understanding it, and to make things better for the community, if you're getting hung up on words, I have a problem with that. Because when you hear defund the police, let's defund the police. There's a lot of funding. Let's defund some of that and put it elsewhere. He shouldn't have to change the wording up to get this across to the people whose job it is to protect the community.
Well, when people take your wording and then they change the narrative and shift the narrative, and it goes from funding the police, meaning taking money from police departments to reinvest in the community, but then they change it to, oh, they want to abolish the police. Oh, they want to get rid of police. Oh, they don't want any police. Once that happens, the only thing you should really stay on is the actual substance of the messaging. When Republicans change the narrative and they take away, the messaging, like your messaging is why you should defund the police. You should always just stick to the why. Now, that's the problem I be having with a lot of the OGs, the centrist Democrats. They get on TV and they're so hung up on the wording, like defund the police or pack the courts or whatever it is, instead of just explaining the why to people.
Exactly.
Stay on the why.
And if we have people in front that are scared to do that, for years we have shown you why that doesn't work. Why that doesn't work. Why doing things this way? Why we've shown you why repackaging shit to adhere to people that are inherently racist in the first place. We've shown you why it doesn't work. So it's time to get new people in there that are going to stand on that and push for what's right.
Yes. Well, you have that, right? You have the progressive Democrats who do that. You know what I'm saying?
Like your AOCs and things.
AOC, Ayanna Presley, Representative Omar, Hakeem. I think Hakeem Jeffries, I wouldn't necessarily call him progressive, but Nina Turner, like you have these people who are standing on that. The problem is you got the centrist Democrats who shit on them. And it's like, don't shit on them. Just constantly explain the why. Like when somebody like OG Jim Clyburn gets on TV and he's just trying to explain messaging to people, because what Jim Clyburn said was true. He was like, the messaging may not be good for politics. Now, I think that's debatable, because when you look at, I think Joe Biden got like 98% of young people to come out and vote for him. All of them believe in defunding the police.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to sit here and throw that out and say, nah, don't say defund the police. But I do think Democrats need to be better at messaging, period. Their messaging sucks.
They're not reading the room.
They're not reading the fucking room. They're not reading the room. Their messaging sucks. That's why I don't even like some of the language they're resorting back to now. It's like, even now, they back to acting like Donald Trump was normal. Making me wonder, like, damn, did they get us again? Like,
yes,
I thought he was a fascist.
Nope.
Guy that had us on the verge of dictatorship. The democracy was about to die, but now it's like those guys on the other side are not our enemies. That's what Joe Biden said. Those guys on the other side are not our enemy. Yes, the fuck they are.
You know what it
Based
is?
off what I saw the past 4 years.
This record that came out in 1996. Politics as usual.
Absolutely.
Politics
Absolutely.
as fucking usual.
Yeah, I'm reading Barack Obama's book right now, Promised Land, and he talks about that in the book. He talks about the struggle of actually wanting to create real change, like actually wanting to go out there in the community, like everything that we're discussing right now, all these things that seem so simple, but then realizing you got to play politics.
And I think that's the problem. I think I want somebody. That's what'll get me back into it. That is what will get me to believe in somebody to vote again, because I want somebody that's not going to play politics. When Clyburn said it's bad for politics, I agree with that, and that's what I love. I think we need something that is bad for politics, because politics has not worked for us, for our people. Politics have not worked out. Haven't worked out for us.
Yeah, but you can't even get in power if you don't play the right politics, sadly. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't play the right politics and appeal to the right people, because this shit is all about.
Look at the last 4 years.
What do you mean?
He did not play the proper politics, and he won.
Yeah, he definitely didn't.
So it can work.
He definitely didn't. Yeah, I think it could work.
It could work, but you have to have somebody on our side that is not afraid to do that.
You need Bullworth.
Mm.
You need Bullworth. You ever seen Bullworth?
Yeah.
You gotta watch Bullworth. You need a Bullworth.
Yeah.
You need somebody like that. You need somebody with that level of honesty, that level of sincerity, that type of connection to the hood, that type of connection to the black community to go out there and speak truth to power in a real way. To say, fuck the lobbyists, fuck the corporations that's donating money. I'm really gonna do what's right for the people. But then they're gonna kill you. Just like they did Bullworth. The truth. All right, what do you think about Hitmaker on Drink Champs, Mouse?
Hashtag make Robin Berg great again.
Who's Robin Berg?
Make robbing Young Berg great again. Like, that's what I think. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like it at all.
What didn't you like?
I don't like what Drake used to say. Drake said, niggas talk more than bitches these days. Like, I don't like when niggas, like, why are you talking about women in this way? Like I don't know. That's corny. Talking about a woman you slept with or had dealings with from 15, 20 years ago, that's corny. 12 years ago, however long, like, that's corny. It's corny.
Sorry.
What happened?
I was gonna say I say I'm Boy Beast, but I was gonna say about you, Miles. That's correct, because he said in that interview that he's like, I usually I don't kiss and tell, blah blah blah, but he's doing all the telling on that interview. He said
kissing and the telling, like, it was bad. Like, you did Love and Hip Hop already. You don't gotta do that no more.
Yeah, I don't believe in kissing and telling. But I mean, listen, let's be honest. It is his story to tell. It's like it's her story to tell.
But if she didn't tell it, you shouldn't tell it.
Exactly.
Who says?
Koof. You know who?
He was doing that because of Ray J.
Listen, I tell you this, if this was 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, when niggas was smacking his chain off, he wouldn't have said it then. He wouldn't have said it then.
Well, he's Hitmaker now, and he's caked up out here.
I want somebody to make hitting him great again.
Stop. We don't want no violence. Pete.
Yo, what happened to all the white people? No Andrew Schulz? Ever since Charlamagne started this Black Effect podcast, there's no white people to be found. I got blacks, Spanish, and loud speakers.
Andrew is he's cooking up something right now, man.
Nice.
Just like you be cooking up stuff. And Pete is actually cooking up things to cook with.
Yeah, absolutely. Been working on it for a while. So, I'm excited to finally announce it tonight. But a year ago today, which is Wednesday, I don't know when this drops. When does this drop?
Thursday.
Tomorrow. Yep.
Okay, well, yesterday, November 18th, my grandmother passed away. She lived to 98. So this is the first person I ever really lost in my family. Just all the memories, all the history. So I wanted to celebrate her. And I've been working on this pasta sauce that she made for a year. And a lot of times, man, you know how things go. I'm so busy with other things, I didn't want to do it. And then I was like, maybe I'll do it. And yeah, man. So finally, just take the generational family recipe and just kind of give it to the world. So, that's been the slogan, like, from my family to yours,
Is your family mad at you for giving up that secret sauce?
Well, the crazy thing is, it's funny. The crazy thing is I have a video of her. She didn't like giving out her recipes, but she told me that I should always do something. Like, for years, I want to do something with my family. They always cook, always like do things. And, I always felt that we could have made a great restaurant, but I didn't have the time or the funds back then to really do it. You know what I mean? So I wanted to at least to try to do something. I've always been into food. So,
And that's one thing about Italians. They gonna tell.
Yeah.
they gonna tell the secrets.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know why that felt shady. Why that felt shady just now?
What do you mean?
I think Mouse was alluding to something else just now.
No, I'm not taking it like that from him.
Okay. Where's the bottle?
He just wants me to wear Italian do-rag. That's what he wants.
Peach pasta sauce. That's dope. Who's that on the bottle?
So check this out. So up here, it'll say 100-year-old family recipe.
Wow.
My grandfather from Italy, he's the one, a lot of men used to cook. Like, don't get twisted. Like, listen, the queens are special, and my mother and I love. There's so many great women that we need to uplift more. But Italian men back in the day were very good cooks. They still are today, but meaning my grandfather's recipe, Then he passed it to my grandmother. My grandmother then passed it to my mother and my aunt. And so I wanted to change it. Like, I didn't want to name it Premium Pete's Pasta Sauce. I didn't want a 90-year-old woman in the ShopRite, like, who the hell's Premium Pete? Keep in mind, there's Ralph's, there's Tony's, there's Mike's, so now there's Pete's, right? And yeah, man, I never put out all these years of doing things. I used to have people all over the world come up to me and tell me, like, how can I support you? Like, I watch your show, or I watch shows with Reg and Combat, and I done this, or I bought sneak, but they never, I never really put out anything besides very little things that someone could support me, It's
I'm inspired.
But like, think about it, like with your book, right? Like, you're on the radio doing podcasting for years, but people watch you, show you love, tell you, like, I appreciate it, thanks for inspiring us. But, until the book, they couldn't really get a tangible item from Charlamagne. You know what I mean? So I wanted to just commemorate and make something different, man. Just do something different.
No, it's so crazy. My book gave me confidence to do that. It's not like I don't want to ask nobody for nothing. It's two things that gave me the confidence to do that. My book, and when them dudes tried to jump me in front of the radio station and punch me in the back of the head, and I sold "Can I Get a Drop" t-shirts and made a quick 10,000 off that real fast. I was like, oh shit, people actually would purchase something from me. So those two things definitely gave me confidence to be like, oh, okay, I can get my DJ Khaled Diddy on and
yes.
And sell some things to folks.
I've seen it in person too, Charlamagne. I seen you in Philadelphia, New York, lines for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people just coming up to you, looking for you to sign their book, and just thank you for inspiring them. Particularly even like, and this is a beautiful thing, like younger and older, Black and men and women. You know what I'm saying? Like that's important. Like, it's important to do that. It's important for people to see that. You know what I mean? So,
and I
think,
sure. And I think it's
doing there. See what you're doing there, Pete.
No, I'm being
selling to the Black community. I like that because a lot of black people eat a lot of spaghetti.
No, that's
I
a fact.
thought that I was in clear that I didn't have a dickhead named Andrew Schulz on the show.
Hey,
now,
Pete, there's a meme out that says young Black kids have eaten more spaghetti than Italians.
So I like your marketing plan. Plan.
I did not. Let me see that. Send me that meme.
I'm gonna send it to you. I was like,
I'm gonna text it to you right now.
I started to post it the other day, but I was like, is this true? Because we ate a lot of spaghetti when we was young, bro.
It's true.
Well, let's keep in mind, right? When we think about Spanish families, when we think about Italian families, we think about Black families, right? Growing up, I remember there was a point in time, I didn't know this. My father was working 3 jobs. I never seen him. There was a point in my time where my family was struggling. We were eating pasta every day. I thought it was normal because we're Italian.
Mm-hmm.
My mother would make pasta with a little of this, a pasta with a meat sauce, a pasta with this, kind of like Spanish, like rice with this, rice with that. You don't realize that they were broke or that they were struggling until you get older.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why we eating pasta every night, Can't eat anything else. So, spaghetti, rice, those type of things, are
affordable.
They're monumental and iconic and something quick and something easy. And I wanted to make something where people could be home and, make a chicken parm, make a baked ziti, make a lasagna, make just spaghetti with sauce and change it. Because I already have been in the food world for a long time. This is what's crazy. And I tell people, whoever's listening or watching, springboard off of what you do, right? You don't only have to be one thing. People tell you stay in your lane, you go create more lanes. That's how I always say. Even like this, look, it's hot sauce.
Now you jumping into the black lane.
Hey, listen, I respect it.
So hold on. So this hot sauce right here, Nikki Diamonds, my friend, you familiar with Diamond Supply and Nikki Diamonds? I don't know if you're
Nikki Diamonds, yeah.
Yeah, called me a year ago and was like, yo, I want to do a hot sauce, me and Rob Kardashian, me and Chum Lee, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, this is what I tell people. Keep your relationships and add value. And I literally have a friend out in Louisiana. He's an award-winning chef. And we delivered this bottle to them. So,
That's dope.
This is another company that I'm a partner of,
Who's that on the cover?
So this is one of the founders, Chum Lee's, his grandmother. She's the one who used to make spices and all that type of stuff. So we used her in the inspiration of it. So it was his inspiration.
It's so dope because I'm thinking about Pete, right? I'm just thinking about the Pete I've known over the years. The two things that would make sense for you to get into is sneakers and something in the food industry. Like, it just makes too much sense.
Yeah, I mean, listen, nothing's wrong with a tea. I mean, but a tea seems like it's just so easy to put out a tea these days. To make your own pasta sauce, like, yo, there's love in it. Like, let me explain something to you. I'm gonna put out pictures, but like, there's like a message, the nutrition facts, and the logo. But the point I'm trying to make is like, yo, my mother, my aunt, my father, my sister, like, yo, we bonded together for hours, like 7 hours one day, 7 hours another day to make this. Like, meaning it's a lot of time, you know what I mean, to put love into something like that. We're not like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like a big corporation just putting it out. It's like a family affair.
So how do we get this shit, Pete?
So I'm dropping. Damn, oh shit.
You dropping.
Nah, I almost dropped it's only 1 cup, so it's not double cup. But Pete's Premium Pasta Sauce.com. By the time this comes out, it'll be available. So again, it's Pete's, like PETES, Premium Pasta Sauce.com. So, and it'll be in my bio. I'm gonna share it. I got our good brother Killer Mike. I showed him very early on. He was very happy. He actually gave it to the good young brother from Atlanta, New Face. I gave him the label. This is what I love about Killer Mike. I gave him the label because let me show. I showed him the label and the jar, and he's like, "Yo, can I get that label?" And I was like, yeah, like, yeah. He's like, all right, I want to give it to New Face to keep in, like, for a museum, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I didn't ask him that, but I like the way he thinks, like, let me document this. Not that meaning, like, I'm just another piece of the puzzle, but meaning, like, let me just document this.
Any stores it's going to be in?
Yeah. So 2021 will be in, stores. I'm working on getting in Target and Whole Foods and Kroger's and Publix, which has one of the best fried chickens out there.
Oh, you're really leaning into this black thing.
I'm leaning,
Oh, you're really leaning into this black thing, and I like it, Pete.
Yo, Mouse, Mouse, why you the black Andrew Schulz for? Yo, that's the thing. Like, I figured, like, yo, no Andrew Schulz. Like, I'm gonna come on and Charlamagne could be real with me because Schulz will have me talking about some finger banging thing in 10th grade, like,
I'm not taking it there. I'm just saying I'm acknowledging that you're leaning into the black community, and I appreciate it.
I mean, listen, whoever buys it,
don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm ordering some.
I'm ordering some too, but don't Michael Jordan this. Don't say Republicans buy pasta sauce.
Bro, I mean, actually, you know what? Can we speak about that real quick? The first time, I only voted 2 times in my life.
For Trump and who else?
This actually is the first time I voted since I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, it's the first time. So maybe I gave Biden an extra vote. Like, how people talk about my vote don't matter because there's so many votes, I didn't know because years ago I had gotten in trouble and I was just told you couldn't vote. So I had no idea. All these years, people tell you can't vote, which as a society is terrible because the American dream is fixing yourself, right? You know what I mean? Think about it, right? Getting in trouble and turning your life around and making yourself a productive member of society,
Absolutely.
Whatever how corny that is.
None of us would be here if it wasn't for that type of redemption, by the way.
Exactly. And then I didn't find out till like a couple of months ago, like, yo, you can actually vote. So I signed up, they sent the ballot in and I voted, he's like Trump and who else? Not for Biden, man.
Who was the first person you voted for?
It had to be maybe early on. It had to be maybe 1994, maybe.
So
Clinton. It had to be maybe Clinton. Shouts to Clinton, man. We don't give him enough respect for tainting and dipping his cigars. Back then I was dipping cigars in dust. This guy was dipping his cigars in, listen.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Well, Pete, give him the website again, man.
Listen. Thank you for the opportunity to push the new product.
I'm going to get you on Breakfast Club next week, too.
Okay, I appreciate that. It's Pete's Premium Pasta Sauce.com. And listen, man, it's a passion project. And, I'm thankful that I could commemorate my grandmother who meant so much to me and really just give a recipe, to the world that was made with love and, that represented something. So,
Word. Pete, thank you, my brother.
Appreciate you, Mouse, man. Stay busy, man. But don't be Andrew. Be the Mouse, man. I'm proud.
All I did was acknowledge your acknowledgement of the black community. That is something Andrew Schulz definitely would not do. So,
I mean, listen, I eat shrimp curry just as much as I eat linguine and clams. You know what I mean?
That's actually racist. I don't know. You probably didn't want to.
I mean, my family is Trinidadian. My family's from West Indian. My son's half. I mean, I'm just telling you what I'm surrounded by.
You are walking into MAGA country by yourself.
Y'all just making me hungry.
Internet, listen. Thanks, y'all, man. Peace, Mouse.
Peace, King.
All right, peace.
Mouse, I want to ask you about one more thing before we get up out of here. Lil Wayne facing 10 years in prison. That's some shit that we gonna care about next week or not?
Nope. He better ask that. He better ask that cop that saved him back then. He better ask Trump for help. All the people he turned his back on, he better ask them people for help.
I feel sorry for Wayne in this situation, only because, I don't like to see no brothers go to jail. You know what I mean? But it's like, just because and listen, I don't even think Wayne has a political view.
Oh no,
I think, like I said before, I just think he got paid. You know what I mean? 50 Cent was on Breakfast Club this week, and 50 Cent said he got offered, I think $1 million. You know what I'm saying? By the Trump administration. So 50 said he's positive Wayne probably got paid. And listen, I've seen politicians throw money around. I've had people on the left offer me, money to do certain things. Shit. It's not like the Trump administration wasn't trying to get at me. I'm just smart enough not to take the call. You know what I'm saying? You call me, talk about Jared Kushner would like to talk to you. What the fuck do I got to talk to Jared Kushner about? You know what I mean? Nothing to discuss. And it was Jared Kushner would like to talk to you about the platinum plan. No, thank you. I'm cool. I am perfectly okay. So I hope Wayne don't end up in jail, man. And I don't think that, even if that was his political view, or even his opinions on BLM shouldn't land him in jail. Like, I'm not going to wish prison on him.
His opinions on BLM didn't land him in jail. Whatever he got caught doing landed
Absolutely.
him in jail.
But people are hoping he goes to prison because of those comments is whack to me.
Yeah, I don't think you should ever hope it, but I'm definitely not, I definitely understand anybody who's going to not be standing on the front lines.
Just don't give a fuck.
Freedom. Yeah.
Don't give a fuck.
I don't think there's going to be no free Wayne shirts this time.
It'll be a few, but I get what you're saying. But that's what I'm saying. Just shrug your shoulders to it. Instead of wishing bad upon somebody, just be like, oh, okay. That's it.
My only issue with that is it removes the accountability.
No, it doesn't. He going to jail.
But still, people can, if you choose to, people can celebrate that. People can celebrate your downfall the same way they were upset with you with the thing you did.
But when you say accountability, you're saying he should be held accountable, I guess, for taking a picture with Trump. He should be held accountable for his comments on BLM.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the consequence for that other than us not agreeing with him and saying, oh, he's bugging?
You not receiving the black community support.
What if there's people that feel like he does and we don't know it? It's got to be, though, right? We see it. We see a bunch of black people who are against BLM. Usually they're on the right. But, it's not like he's, speaking a foreign language. I think his comments were ignorant as fuck. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to wish bad on the man just because I don't agree with his comments.
And I'm the same way. I'm not, like, that's none of my business. I'm not listening to Wayne, nothing he's saying. So it's none of my business. But like I said, for the people who are having a moment, the people who are like, yo, how you like that? Because when you make a stand like that, you're basically saying F how anybody else feels. So now people are doing that when something bad happens to you.
Yeah, so when it happens to you, you're like, I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
And by the way, which is fine. Not giving a fuck is perfectly okay.
No, some people give a fuck in a bad way. And, you got to deal with that. That's the platform you stood up on.
Mouse, I appreciate you, brother. Give me your Twitters and all that stuff like that.
Make sure you follow me at Mouse Jones on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure every Monday and Thursday y'all are tuned into the Guys Next Door podcast featuring myself, Mac Wilds, and Fly Rye. And that's it.
I want you to do a spinoff of that podcast so bad, man.
What's up?
I think you should get Trav. Taylor, you should get Trav and a couple of Trav's homies and call it the Guys We Fuck Next Door podcast.
All right, let me get out of here, man.
What you mean?
Yeah, let me get out of
here. That'd be dope.
What?
Yeah. I want everybody at home to understand, like, this is somebody I refer to as Unc. Like, I'll just check, like, and this is what he do. Like, he play all day. So, like, he play with my life. Like, this is crazy. I thought he was really, like, you know what I mean? Because everybody got the Black Effect greeting card. Everybody got the Black Effect invite except for Guys Next Door. So, yeah.
That's
you
the
feel
damn lie.
We didn't get no invite.
Mouse, I hit you over the summer. I said, yo, I'm gonna get the text for you. Hold on.
It wasn't
Hold
a text. We was
on,
on the phone.
King. Hold on. I'm gonna scroll back. Hold on. Let me scroll back. Okay, that's September. Mouse talking spicy. Of course.
See, he go to crazy.
Hold on. Let me go back. All right, hold on. Where is it? I don't know if I called you or text you.
You called me. We was on the phone.
I called you?
Yeah, me and you was on the phone.
Oh, okay, it was a phone call. I do remember saying you, yo, what you doing with the podcast? What other podcast you working on? I told you, I said, I'm working on something.
And then I haven't heard anything, but there's been that rollout, boy, that Black Effect. Taylor's getting money out here with that Black
Taylor's
Effect
doing
rollout.
well. Well, listen, we a network. We not going nowhere.
I like how that sounds.
What you mean? So you act like you act like we're not adding to the roster all the time.
Just saying, nobody's knocked on the Guys Next Door. Nobody.
Should we do it, Taylor, or should we do the spinoff?
Yo,
I like the spinoff.
Spinoff hard, right?
Girl.
First of all, what y'all not gonna do is act like y'all. First of all, we're not gonna do this podcast. Act like y'all are making me more tolerant. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. See, what's not gonna happen is that right there. But I see what's going on. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody on the Black Effect. You know, one day, you know, hopefully, you know, Guys Next Door or Be Next Door.
Guys Next Door. No. We're gonna make that happen. But I hit you though. I don't act like I didn't. I hit you. I'm like, yo, so what's good? Like, what you thinking?
That didn't happen. It didn't happen that way.
That's a lie, Mouse. What did I say then?
I'm gonna tell you what happened. I'm not gonna say the confines of this conversation, but we was talking, and what happened was, as me and you were talking, you're like, you kept bringing up that, you know, and in a week, Mouse, you're gonna see when this network.
Nah, it was before that.
Look, I'm about to tell you what happened. And then you said, oh yeah, I guess it was like the 8th time you mentioned it. You like, yeah, and I got something for you too. And then I was like, okay.
I told you this back in the summer. I hit you. I hit Ivy. I was like, what are y'all doing?
No, you're right. Now that what you're talking about, okay, you're right. You did hit me about that.
I was just trying to say, trying to put together a play for my folks.
Yeah, I forgot.
That's all.
You're right. In that instance, you're right.
But I didn't know Guys Next Door was available. But now that I know,
we've been free agents. We out here.
We got to get it because then we can do the spinoff. We got to do the spinoff with Trav. That shit'll be hard.
Pause.
Literally. Mad Blue Chew sponsorship. Mad Blue Chew sponsorship.
You understand, Mouse? Like,
Trav funny too, bro.
He's funny.
I met Trav.
He got but he got, you know, he could spit for you.
Yes, he raps. Like, Trav is a homie from Philly.
I'm serious.
Who's proudly gay, which I respect, and I like Trav a lot. And I think it's something there with Trav.
We waited this whole podcast to get to the end to try and make me look bad.
No, like, I'm just saying, if they got girls we fucked, right? And y'all got Guys Next Door, combine the two names with Trav, Guys We Fucked Next Door. It's a market for that.
Broaden your horizons, Mouse.
Yes.
Here it goes again. Like,
Spread your horizons, Mouse. All right. Okay.
The girls know where my heart is. The girls with the W, they understand. They refer to me openly as an ally. So you're not gonna do this to me right now.
We know who got your heart, but who getting your farts? That's the question you need.
So if you heard this podcast and think he's absolutely an idiot.
Listen, I'm gonna do some Asking an Idiot, Mouse. I'm gonna hit you up later, bro.
Y'all be safe.
Peace, King.
Already.
Let's do some Asking Idiots, Taylor, so I can get the fuck up out of here.
Okay. Iron Felix wants to know, when's the next book and what's the subject matter?
When's the next book and what's the subject matter? I already know what my next book is about. I know what the subject matter is about as well. But I'm focused on the Black privilege book imprint through Simon and Schuster right now. So I'm focused on, making sure Tamika Mallory's State of Emergency, making sure that gets what it needs, and the other titles that we coming out with on the book imprint, just making sure they get what they need. So I don't know. Maybe 2022. I'm not in no rush, but I definitely got a concept. Me and my man Chris Moreau, we've been throwing a concept around, and I know exactly what it is. I want to talk about, but it's just going to take a little bit more research on my part because it's not just about me and my experiences. It's about, other people and their experiences. So it's just going to take some time to put that together the way I want it to. But yes, third book is definitely on the way. Writing is very therapeutic for me, man. And I really do love being in that reading space, man. I love having a book in print. I love having to deal with Kevin Hart for Audible because, we're not just doing original programming on Audible, original audio scripted programming. We're actually going to be taking some of our favorite book titles and having some of your favorite, celebrities and influencers read them because I think that people aren't opposed to reading. I just think people consume information differently. Like I'm reading Barack Obama's book right now. It's 700 pages. I'm doing something that I've never done before, which is I read a few chapters at the house. And then when I get in the car, I go to the next chapter via audio. You know what I mean? So I started reading the book paper-wise, and then I got in the car this morning. I'm like, why don't I just listen to it? So I started at the chapter that I ended with last night, and I'm just listening, zoning out. So I think people, are still into literary content. They just consume it a different way. So, we're going to be having people read our favorite books through Audible and then through the Black Privilege book imprint. I'm just going to be supporting my people, working for my people, and helping them get their voices out. So, please pre-order Tamika Mallory's book right now, State of Emergency. It's available for pre-order wherever you purchase books, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, via Black Privilege, Simon and Schuster.
Okay. Herb Wakefield wants to know, is it better to look for the positive in every situation or trust that every situation is a part of the higher plan?
That is a phenomenal question. I think it's best to understand that every situation is part of a higher plan. But I mean, if you approach life the way you should approach life, which is, just constantly putting forth that positive energy, then you're always going to be in a positive space. I just think it's about staying in that positive space when things don't go your way. That's why I think it's best to look at it as part of the plan. So it's got to be a combination of the two, right? I wake up every day and I set my intention. My intention is positivity. I pray. I go read my daily affirmation. I meditate for a little bit. I take a shower. When I'm driving into work, like I said, I'm either listening to a podcast or I'm listening to some music. Like I'm setting my intention. Like I want to set my mind state to be happy. Like that's my focus, right? That's my energy. So when things don't go my way, I don't look at it as having a bad day. I don't look at it as having a good day either. I just look at it as part of a process. I actually got this quote. Quote is what's his name?
Hold on.
Oh, I can't. Whatever his name is. This is for you.
Herb. Oh, it was Herb Wakefield.
This is for you. Nothing can happen without God's permission, and God will not allow a difficulty unless He has a divine purpose for it. If you will keep your peace, you'll pass the test, and God will bring you out better than you were before. That's my mindset. So I think it's a combination of both those things you talked about, but I would lean into the second one a little bit more.
Okay.
What else, Taylor?
Dom D. Prospero. He wants to know, what's something you realize you can live without during this quarantine?
Honestly, I just think being mixy. I'm a Cancer, so I'm a natural homebody anyway. But the way I'm building my next house, designing my next house, I'm designing that motherfucker like I ain't leaving. It's just the truth to the matter because I like being at home. Like there's no place like home. And I've never even understood what that meant fully until this pandemic. Like there's no reason to be super mixy. There's no reason to be on a flight all the time, going to different places. Like even the way I've set up a lot of my professional business, like I'm doing things to where I don't have to move around like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I'm not hustling. It's not that I'm hustling any less harder. I'm just hustling a whole lot smarter. Because a lot of times we just think, I remember back in the day, you thought, not getting no sleep was hustling. Being on the scene everywhere is hustling. Like that's really a whole bunch of nothing. So for me, I just think it's about, not being in the mix so much. Like I don't care to be in the mix like that. I like being around my circle and building with my circle, and like that's it. I don't have to be. And I never was in the mix like that before. Huh?
You're more established too, because I think people that want to be still mixy, they like attention. There's no offense to anyone, but I'm just saying I think people that like to be like they have to be like where everyone's at. I think they like attention and they're missing something at home.
Yeah, and by the way, you doing all that for no reason, because none of that shit is putting no money in your pocket. None of that shit is helping further your life. None of that shit is helping further your career. You just doing that shit for likes and retweets to look like you actually popping and doing something. Like, I never really been on that, but I definitely know I don't need that at all. Like, I'm cool. I'm good. I'm so good on that. Let's do one more. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Make it a good one, Taylor Gang.
6, Brando wants to know, should you surround yourself with love or surround yourself with solitude?
I mean, I hate to not answer your question. I think you should surround yourself with trust. Mm-hmm. I think trust is the highest compliment of love. Because I think you can love people but not trust them. Like, we all got family members that we may love because that's our family, but we don't trust them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got crackhead cousins.
But what's love though? Then
trust. I think
you can love someone, but you can't trust them. So what is that love then mean?
No, I think love is the highest compliment of trust. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on. It's this quote I like. Let me see if I can find it. Yes, the best proof of love is trust. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I like you said, I guess love, you know what I mean? But you got to ask yourself, what is love? Like, there's a lot of different things that go with love. Like, I think love and trust go hand in hand. Like I said, you can love somebody, but not trust them. I like trust. And I like trust with my wife. I like trust with my friends. I like trust with my family. If you my people and you with me all the time and I'm working with you all the time and we got a real professional relationship, it's got to be about trust for me. Trust knows that I know you ain't going to lie to me. I know you ain't going to cheat me. I know you're not going to steal from me. You know what I'm saying? I know that you are the same person in my face, that you are behind my back. I know that you going to, hold me down when I'm not around to hold myself down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about that when it comes to people. Like, if somebody's talking to me about somebody, or if I hear something negative about one of my people, I'm going to stick up for that person because I want that same type of trust. Like, I think trust is what you should look to surround yourself with. So, I can't say just love, because I feel like, like the quote says, the best proof of love is trust. So I want to be surrounded by trust.
Who said that quote?
I don't fucking know. Shit, I don't know. Don't say. Give it to Will Smith. You give him every other quote. Put Will Smith. just post that and then put dash Will Smith. They'll believe it. But I really feel like that though. The best proof of love is trust. There's another good quote. Whether it's friendship or relationship, all bonds are built on trust. Without it, you have nothing. Like, love without trust is nothing. Like, that shit don't mean shit. It's like, I love them, but I don't trust them. Like, no, I want to be able to trust you. That's what you should surround yourself.
Too, though.
Huh?
That's a whole nother thing. I was like, there's this level of trust too, though, but that's a whole nother situation.
I get what you're saying. I mean, I can see that, but I just feel like that's what you should look to surround yourself with. Trust. People want to be able to trust you. You need a trust circle. Love is cool, but the highest proof of the best proof of love is absolutely trust.
Okay.
All right, gang. We did it. Andrew will be back next week. As always, if you listen to this podcast, you think we're smart, you think we're intelligent, you think we're brilliant, you're absolutely right. If you listen to this podcast and you think we're just a couple idiots who don't know shit, you're right too. It's the Brilliant Idiots Podcast. Thank you for listening.